Those living in this apartment building on King Street West are among the thousands in this province right now facing eviction. The owner of the building has been handing out notices to people that have actually been without work through this entire pandemic, and that is why they're coming together with others in the community in protests. The message carried from Shoreview Court still holds strong for tenants here. They want the evictions to stop and the chance to negotiate with the landlord. But those efforts have fallen short.
We're treading water here. We're dealing with water shutoffs, no hydro, no heat. A lot of people still are without their jobs who work in the service industry. So it's just bizarre.
Lindsay Taylor has lived here for 4 years, and when she wasn't working, couldn't afford her monthly bill, including costs beyond just rent. Since then, she's been served notice with 2 eviction notices, along with others in the building.
You know what? I'm going to start withholding my rent again because, if they can't figure out how much rent they think I owe them, I want that settled before I give them any of my rent.
Not now! Not later!
You won't evict our neighbors!
The battle over rent and evictions has been escalating. Just last month, Parkdale residents hit the streets in support of neighbors being forced out on Triller Avenue. Since then, the banners have been flying on balconies there.
We knew there was some people that regardless would just not be able to pay the rent, like full stop, right? And so we thought the best thing to do was to try to get those people connected with their neighbors in buildings and in communities to make sure that no one loses their home.
Thank you for calling Golden Equity Properties.
CityNews reached out to the owner of Shoreview, a company based in Montreal, both by phone and email. A response from a lawyer declined to offer any comment, all while the King Street property is front and center on the website with units for rent.
Now, there has been some response from Golden Equity, and certainly some of our organizing has made a difference, but in terms of rent arrears over COVID, they've been very stubborn.
Calls for the Ford government to ban evictions altogether during the pandemic have stopped short. One had been put in place for 4 months last spring. Enforcement has been halted a couple of times since for shorter stints, but nothing to keep people from being displaced for good in the long run. While no actual enforcement is taking place right now, the notices continue to be handed out, and the hearings at the Landlord and Tenant Board are taking place virtually. According to Parkdale Organized, nearly 25,000 hearings have taken place over the last year, with no actual outcomes being recorded.